A stunner at Syracuse. The Orange come from 21 down and take down Miami.
I'll have
It's
to
worth
just
it
find
for
the listing
a Q's
again.
color for college football
Yeah,
season.
yeah. You're right. You're right. That's coming. Are we gonna do our season preview today?
No. It's still too far away.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting excited though.
I'm excited about that being a regular segment that literally no one will watch.
Even though Cuse is gonna go 3-8, I'm still excited.
They're not going
3-9, 3-9.
man. Come on.
3-9, 3-9. The schedule sucks. Like it really sucks. We're
Is
gonna
it
lose
that
every
bad?
game. Yes, we're gonna lose every game. All of them, every single game. I think we play 5 teams that were in the playoffs last year. We're just gonna lose every game.
Okay, I'm looking up your 2025 schedule.
We never beat Pittsburgh. You need to remember, Pittsburgh is an insurmountable mountain. We never beat them. So
Okay, Tennessee, that's tough.
that's an
tough.
L right there.
UConn's not always bad.
Well, UConn was good last year, but that's the game I went to when I was up north. But
yeah.
UConn won, I think, 9 or 10 games last year, but we still handled them pretty easy.
Okay, so
Kyle McCord set the Syracuse passing record in that game.
Well, he's not there this year.
Yeah, that's a big point of contention. The quarterback situation is kind of wide open and nobody knows what's going on.
I guess we're just in this. We're in a little preview right now. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just doing it.
Yeah,
okay,
we're just
I'll tell
doing it.
you
We're
about.
well,
let's
wait.
do the
I wanna work
Syracuse
my way
quarterback
through.
drama.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. We'll do the drama.
Let me tell you about the Hughes quarterback drama. So we thought McCord might be coming back. That was the chatter, but it turns out he's not, and he already got drafted. So that's done and dusted. Yeah. So the chatter it was between 3 guys to be the starting quarterback. Like going into spring, this was the chatter. We have a redshirt freshman who is spoken highly of that people were hoping was going to win the job. We have a transfer from LSU who I think has 3 years of eligibility left, but he never played at LSU. This is not like McCord where we're getting Ohio State's starter that went 11-1.
Yeah.
We're getting a guy that never saw the field at LSU, so it's a big difference. And the third guy was our number 2 last year, who is one of the coach's sons. I think he's going into his 7th year. He's like one of those guys that managed to just like squeeze all the eligibility out. He was probably the least likely to win the job, but he was number 2 last year, so, we need to, he's in the conversation. But then, surprising everyone, as soon as spring football started, our head coach says that it's Ricky Collins, who's the guy from LSU. He says he's the quarterback. There's no question about it. He's the quarterback. I'm squashing all conversation right now. We can't have this distraction around the team.
Was this after the spring game?
This was way before the spring game. This is right when, this is after 2 spring practices. He says
not even
this.
giving him the chance to duke it out.
No, he's like, there is no competition. He's the guy. But then the spring game comes around and he doesn't play. The transfer doesn't play in the spring game. Also, the spring game wasn't televised, so nobody could see it. It wasn't recorded either. Nothing. You cannot see the spring. You either went to the spring game, you saw it in person, or And
this
and
is
also,
very odd.
Yes. Okay. So, right. This is odd. Right?
I've been to plenty of spring games for Florida State.
Me too.
Yeah.
I used to go to every spring game when I lived in New York, but so I would have saw something in person then. So basically, our coach was like, "Yeah, it was precautionary. He got banged up a few days ago. We just didn't if this were a real game, he'd have played. But since it's the spring game, we just left him out." But then after spring, right after spring, the guy who was number 2 last year transferred out, which wasn't a big deal. We didn't think he was going to win the job anyway, and he already said that he wasn't going to be the starter. So we got another quarterback in the portal who has more credentials than the LSU guy. We got Notre Dame's backup.
Yeah, I saw that post.
We got Notre Dame's number 2 for the last 3 seasons. He's been their backup quarterback for 3 years. He's started a few games. His stats, if you accumulate them across
Jason,
all the
hold
games, are really good.
Tell me the coach is not just standing by what he said before even the spring game, and this guy's still.
Well, now nobody knows. Now nobody fucking knows what's going on. He hasn't said anything now.
Okay.
But just the fact that he named a starter very early, and then they went through all of spring, and then nobody got to see the spring game, and then we brought out another transfer. We're just like, what the fuck is going on?
That's
Especially since we reportedly paid the LSU guy a shitload of money to transfer here.
Oh,
so
yeah, see that. Hey, did you pay him
yeah,
as much as
exactly.
we paid DJ?
There was like the
Leondelele?
chatter. The chatter is he was making like by far the most amount of NIL money on the team. So who the fuck knows what's going on now?
Jason.
Yeah.
Just imagine. You know how much we paid for DJ?
How much do you pay? How much do you pay for him?
Bro.
Do you know?
No, it had to
Okay.
be over $1 million though, and
Probably, yeah.
just paying.
Well, we lost our best receiver. Did you hear about this?
No, wait, was it the weed one?
What?
Was it the drugs one?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about there.
Sorry, must have been a different team.
No. Okay, so our best receiver coming back he was going to be our best player. He's probably going to get drafted. But after spring, he transferred. And then our coach did an interview saying that he asked for $2 million and he was not going to pay any player $2 million.
Yeah, get out of
And
here.
then he went to Penn State, and then Penn State coach said he didn't get anywhere near $2 million.
Well, when you do something like that, you burn your bridge, and so you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck, and you don't get maybe not even as much as you would have got. Yeah.
It was a really strange situation.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't know what to expect. I know that you
I
can.
don't know, exactly.
You know what you can expect? You can expect
What?
to beat Colgate.
We're gonna beat Colgate,
And you're gonna lose to Clemson.
You know what's really funny about Colgate is we actually are losing in the all-time series against Colgate. But it's all shit that happened in like the 1800s and like early 1900s. So it's stuff. It's like over 100 years ago because we played Colgate every year up until the 50s because
Yeah.
they're like 30 minutes away from Syracuse. So they're a really local team.
Boy,
they're
they
like
really
our
fell
Florida
off.
A&M. Yeah. Well, I mean they're FCS, so they're not even like a thing. They went undefeated and then got absolutely smashed by North Dakota State in the first round of the playoffs a few years ago. So
Dang.
pour one out for the Colgate team that went undefeated and then lost to North Dakota State by like 60 points.
Poured.
No, but now we play Colgate every couple of years and we
Yeah.
always beat them by 1,000,000 points and it's never competitive. And
Yeah. So you're looking at with Tennessee, UConn, and Colgate, you could have 2 losses, but probably just
that's
one.
2 wins. We're gonna beat UConn. We're gonna beat Colgate, but then every other game on the schedule we could lose. So
Clemson is a loss.
that's a loss.
It's at Clemson. I don't see.
Yeah. That's a loss.
They're going to be tough. Duke might be a win.
Mate, it's 50-50.
That's
Who knows?
50-50.
Yeah,
SMU, 50-50.
probably a loss. That's probably. I think that's away too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
Dallas,
that's a
Texas.
loss. That's a loss.
The thing is, though, no, SMU's team was extremely old last year. They lost a lot of players.
You think they're gonna suck this year? Okay, maybe that's like 60-40. They're in favor because they're at home. I don't know.
I understand it being at SMU, but I also feel like Syracuse is the exact kind of team to kind of like give them a road bump if they're having a good season up to this point. I feel like Syracuse is the
maybe.
exact kind of team to spoil SMU. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I don't know what to expect out of the team. Like, I don't even know if our team's gonna be good. So
So you said you can't beat Pitt?
we never beat Pitt,
That's crazy.
which is funny because I think we're leading the all-time series. We just have lost every year the last 20 years.
Those
So-
kind of things are really tough to get over. But, you know, Florida State, we finally lost to Duke for the first time ever last year.
Dino beat Pittsburgh one time, and it was his last year, and it was the first game we did the Wildcat offense.
I love the Wildcat.
That
Who
was an
doesn't love the
awesome game.
Wildcat? Yeah.
That was an amazing game because nobody expected it, and then we were just like, wait a second, we're just doing the Wildcat the whole time, okay, and then it kind of worked.
There's a chance he'll beat Pitt, though.
There's not.
Okay.
You don't know this.
You're
don't
right.
know
You're
this.
right. I'll give
never
you that
beat
one.
it.
So
We never, even when we're good. Like last year, we won 10 games. We lost to Pitt. The other time, the year Dino got 10 wins, we lost to Pitt. So yeah, we just don't beat Pitt.
7 games in, we're at 3 guaranteed losses and maybe 4.
Yeah, the Pitt's a guaranteed loss. It doesn't matter if it's home or away. We lose.
Georgia Tech might be a win.
50-50. I mean, people think they're going to be good, though. Like, they're expected to be good this year.
North Carolina could be a loss.
Who knows? Who
Who
probably
knows?
a loss, but who knows?
It's such a meme. You know what's so
Yeah.
funny? I got so annoyed because like I don't care about Bill Belichick's girlfriend. I don't fucking care.
I feel like there's no middle ground with them. They're either going to win 11 games or they're going to win 2 games. And there's no in between.
I thought you were going to say something about what I said, but it's just...
Oh, no. I think it's based as hell that Bill Belichick's girlfriend is 24.
Yeah.
And she's like his PR manager. I think that's cool.
By the way,
Whatever.
she looks 35 to me.
She looks
I think
mature,
that she
right?
might be lying about her age, which would be even funnier if it's like a PR move where she's actually in her mid to late 30s and she's like playing that she's 24.
Honestly, yeah.
That'd be genius.
If they didn't plaster her age everywhere and we just saw like a picture of them, I would have guessed 30s as well.
Yeah.
So
no, I would have guessed late 30s even, dude. And it's just so funny. Like, I don't like, what's the big fucking deal? Anyway,
I don't know.
North Carolina, you're right. We don't know what to expect. Bill Belichick's not coaching this team. It's his son.
You don't think so?
No, man. He's only there for a year until his son takes over anyway. I don't think he's
I
doing
don't
anything.
believe that. I don't think North Carolina would fall for some trick like that.
He's also not recruiting at all. He said he's not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just the name Bill Belichick recruits for itself.
I think Miami could be a win.
Well, I mean, we beat them last year, but they're going to want revenge, you'd think. And it's away, it's at Miami. I should go to that game, actually.
They lost their best player.
Yeah, but so did we.
Yeah, but I feel like Syracuse has more in the tank after that.
We had 5 players get drafted, which is the most since like 2004 or something.
That's so hype, though.
Yeah, that is pretty hype.
How are you feeling
But like
about
again,
your coach,
we're losing
by
a
the way?
lot. Oh, he's awesome. I listen to every interview he does.
Yeah.
He is the exact opposite of Dino in every single way.
I still like Dino.
I love Dino,
Yeah,
but
I like Dino
he
a
was
lot.
he seemed like an amazing guy, but he was such coach speak. Like he would never say fucking he would give you nothing.
Dude, I love Coach Speak.
It's
I love Coach Speak. I listen to a podcast that's just Coach Speak.
Oh my god.
Or during the season I do. They literally every week.
Dino was a master. He was the master of coach speak, and he was a poker face at all times during every game. Didn't matter what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're up 50 points, and Dino's like, we're
Dude,
down 50 points. He's like,
that was Leonard Hamilton at Florida State basketball. Man never showed a single emotion.
No emotions ever for Dino, no matter what. Didn't matter. And our newest coach is like screaming at everyone. He's fucking like, he sweats through his clothes and he changes at halftime every game.
That's nice.
Because his clothes are fucking drenched in sweat.
You love to see someone show some emotion.
He is so intense. Like if you just watch him, he's just fucking like, yeah, he's the exact opposite. It's refreshing to see. Also, Dino, very tight, like closed practices.
Mm-hmm.
Players aren't allowed to do interviews. Assistant coaches aren't allowed to do interviews. I'm the only one who's allowed to do interviews, and I'm not going to say anything.
Well, he was really tight, though, with the spring game this year, apparently.
Yeah, it wasn't televised. I don't know what the fuck's up with that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Because I thought they all had to be televised. I heard that the ACC was televising every spring game, and then Syracuse's wasn't, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where can I watch this online? And then I'm seeing people on the message board complaining that it's just not going to be broadcast or recorded. So apparently it led to record attendance. They got like 20,000 people at the spring game or some
That's
shit.
really
but
good. I still, like Syracuse, even if your year is not, it won't be as good as last year. It can't be.
Yeah. There's excitement around the team, but I just don't think the schedule's too tough.
Program. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because the basketball team has been so bad, there's nothing to get excited about. And also, the sport is just a fucking dumpster fire.
You guys beat us in
awful.
the ACC tournament, though.
Yeah, I mean, but like nothing matters. We lost every player.
Yeah.
We have one player. We have one returning player. It's what the fuck is this stupid ass sport? It sucks.
Yeah, it's bad. Actually, you know,
I mean the one returning player is an important one because he was our leading scorer and he's also local. So like that's a big deal, but it's still like fucking who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck. Just the entire team's different. Honestly, like I haven't done like a deep dive on who we got, but it seems like the roster construction for this year makes a lot more sense than last year.
Okay.
Because even going into the season, I had serious concerns about how the team was built. It seemed like we didn't have a ball handler. It seemed like we didn't have a center. It seemed like we didn't have any shooting. And I'm just like, we just have a bunch of like in-between guys that aren't that skilled. Like, I don't understand what we're doing here. And then it came out in the team because we sucked.
Yeah.
So.
You guys weren't great.
But this time we got the ACC leader in assists, Georgia Tech's starting point guard. We got him. We stole him. So hopefully he's going to be good.
Steals everybody.
Yeah, he's a good shooter too. We got Oregon State's leading scorer, who's a really good shooter. He's coming in.
Okay.
We got Carmelo
Another
Anthony's
orange
son.
team.
Carmelo Anthony's son, who's a point guard, is coming in.
Oh, that's funny.
Carmelo Anthony was he's an NBA Hall of Famer. He's probably the best Syracuse player in history.
Yeah,
He won a championship.
I know about
with
him from you.
Okay, yeah. We won our one and only championship was the year he was with us. He was only with Syracuse for 1 year, but we won the championship that year. Our practice facility is called the Carmelo Anthony Center.
Nice.
So it's named after him. So his son's coming. He's a highly rated prospect. Actually, if you look at high school recruiting rankings, I want to say Syracuse's class is in the top 10. I think it's like
awesome.
6 or something.
Especially after how bad things have been. But they'll be gone, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't fucking
gone.
matter.
Yeah.
High school recruiting doesn't fucking matter anymore.
That's
so
crazy.
I don't even know what to make of that. But it is strange how that turned around, because in the 2000s into up until around 2014-15, we had really good high school recruiting. It seemed like every year we were getting 3 or 4 top 100 recruits. And then it's like they just turned the spigot off and we couldn't get any of them. We couldn't get a single one. People blame it on a bunch of different things. We had sanctions for 1 year where we were banned from the tournament. We lost an assistant coach who directly stole a prospect, by the way.
Damn. We
We had a top 10, 5-star recruit that was committed to Syracuse. He was from Rochester, which is a city about an hour away.
Yeah.
And then we lost our top assistant became the head coach at Washington, and along went that he flipped to them.
That sucks.
So he went to Washington with him. And he ended up being in the NBA for a couple of years. I don't know. He didn't end up being amazing, but he was pretty good. We would have been nice to have him, basically. So we lost him, and then there was a 4 or 5 year stretch where we didn't get any top 100 recruits, not one, after he left. And
that's tough.
Yeah, and you could just see it in the team, because it was just the team just didn't have the talent it did 5-6 years ago, and that's why we weren't as good.
So
but
then
even,
you were thank goodness for NIL, because now we can just...
Yeah, but what's weird though is we didn't completely go off a cliff, because I opine for those days, because we were actually still competitive. We would make the tournament almost every year still, even if it was a lower seed. But we had a stretch from when I was a kid, from 2003 to 2014, where we were contending for 1 seeds every year. We were ranked number 1 a bunch of times overall, and just we had a lot of really good teams there. And then all of a sudden it was we were down a few notches. We were 7, 8, 9 seeds in the tournament every year. And now it's we're making the tournament is a fucking pipe dream. We can't even dream of doing it anymore.
That sucks.
Yeah. But as I'm saying, high school recruiter has rebounded though. We're actually getting top 100 recruits again. It's just they haven't
a legacy
really
player though.
Yeah, they haven't been working out. Well, I didn't even talk about that. During our recruiting drought, we had our elderly head coaches. We had the same coach from 1974 until 2 years ago. And he was a player before that. He was a player in the early 60s. He became an assistant, was an assistant for about a decade, and then he was our head coach for 40 whatever years it was. So we had him, and he has a wife that's 30-something years younger than him. And
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. Well, anyway, he has 2 sons that are younger than we are. So they were both on the team at the same time. But one of them was trash, and one of them's in the NBA now. So one of them is really good. But it's funny, because the one you would expect to be trash is actually the good one, because one of them's short. One of them's 6'3", but he's the good one. The other one's 6'10", but he sucked. So
that's a big height difference.
Yeah, he was huge. He was just stereotypical unathletic coach's son white guy.
Yeah.
I guess, where it's he's not going to win you any games, but he's okay, I guess.
But he's okay, I guess.
If he's wide open, he'll make a shot, but he's not going to create his own shot. He's not good defensively, really. He's an okay rebounder, I guess.
He's not going to beat Notre Dame in football in South Bend on November 22nd.
No, nothing like that.
That's a guaranteed loss.
No, but the younger son actually wasn't going to go to Syracuse because they didn't think he was going to be good enough. But then other teams started recruiting him. North Carolina offered him. So it's well, this is fucking stupid. We can't let him go to North Carolina. So he went here and he was our leading scorer for like all 3. He left early. He didn't even stay 4 years. He stayed 3 years. He was just a guy who bombs threes. He was like Steph Curry. He's an amazing shooter, which opens up like all the other avenues of his game.
Yeah.
Right. So he was like that kind of player. But we made the tournament twice with him, and we haven't made it since. So yeah, I don't know. It's enough about that. I don't. What the fuck? What are we talking about?
I tried several times to circle back around to the football schedule.
I'm sorry.
And he didn't take the bait.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But you were feeling
I just
the
wanted
passion. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about basketball.
Yeah. And that's my fault. I brought it up. I brought up basketball.
We went through the whole football schedule anyway, right?
No,
Are there any games left?
Notre Dame.
Well, what's left? Yeah, we lost to them.
And Boston College.
50-50.
It's a 50-50. You're
maybe
right,
60-40 in our advantage. Yeah.
This schedule is tough.
Yeah, it's like our non-conference games are like Colgate's a cupcake, UConn's a cupcake, but then it's like 2 games we're not going to win. They're just out.
Yeah, aside from Colgate and UConn might even somehow go south. That's potential. They're all tough.
I don't think it will. We're a long ways away from Gruber's. Gruber's is like the coach who killed Syracuse football. We went from just like Rutgers and UConn and Temple being guaranteed wins to just like we never win any games anymore, even against MAC teams. So under him, which is odd because we actually had like good talent still then, but oh well.
Just a bad coach.
Yeah, the coach, he was awful. Yeah. We would lose every game, and they usually weren't even close.
It's tough being under a bad coach. It's amazing how much they still get paid despite sucking.
Yeah. He's dead now, actually, but oh well. Yeah, rest in peace, Greg Robinson.
Well, yeah. We could look over Florida State's schedule, but we don't have to.
Yeah, you want to? I mean, you think you guys are going to be good? I know you have to play Alabama, which is tough.
You know what? Let's do it. We're already here. What am I going to do? A separate segment later? It's either happening now or it's not happening, so let's do it.
Fuck that. We're talking about football.
We're talking about football, damn it. Okay. FSU versus Alabama.
I know you think there's a chance, and there probably is, but it's like a 10% chance. There's like a 10% chance you win that game.
I think
it's low.
It's 50. It's 50-50.
You have like a gimmicky running quarterback. You're not winning that game.
Okay, Jason, a gimmicky running quarterback, sure, but look who's calling the offense. That's not a gimmick when it's under Gus Malzahn. It's just not.
All right.
It's real.
Well, also, Castellanos always sucked against Syracuse. I think that's actually the game he got benched.
Yeah, no, it is.
Syracuse.
It is.
Yeah,
it's against Syracuse. He got benched,
and then we lost the game to the backup. So
that's also because, that's tough. That's also tough. Well, anyway, let's get through it.
Yeah,
I think we win against Alabama.
That's ridiculous.
That's
such homerism.
No,
okay.
It's not. It's perfectly logical.
I know Alabama is down a peg from their peak, but they're still like a top tier team.
I believe they're down a peg and a half.
Okay.
and on top of that, I went back. I literally looked at Gus Malzahn's record everywhere he's ever been. I did this a few months ago, and he is always the best in his first or second year. He's dynamite right when he shows up to a new place.
Also worth noting, he's not the head coach. He's a coordinator.
Yeah, but he's calling the offense. He doesn't need to do anything else except the offense.
Okay.
That's all I need him to do. He's kind of terrible as a head coach because he only cares about the offense anyway. So.
I don't think you're going to beat Alabama. That's a very low chance, I'd say.
I think we're beating Alabama.
Okay, if you beat Alabama, then you might as well just be like, oh, we're going undefeated. We win.
I don't think we're
every
going
game's
undefeated.
a win.
I don't think so. I think Alabama's our best win of the season, probably. I think it's going to be kind of like...
I mean, if you beat Alabama, it would be the best win of the season. It's just that it wouldn't happen.
I think it's going to happen. The other thing is, what is Gus Malzahn known for?
Who cares about your fucking offense coordinator? Oh my God. Okay, what's the next game?
He's known for beating Alabama. I'm just saying.
Okay.
The next two are guaranteed W's against Texas A&M and Kent State.
Yeah, that's a win. Yep, Kent State sucks. They're like the worst team.
And then we've got Virginia, which is a win.
Yeah, okay, so we're 3-1 so far. Virginia's probably a win.
We might be 4-0, but
You're not beating Alabama. Oh my god.
Miami is next, and that's at home.
That's tough.
I think we beat Miami this year.
That's 50-50. I'd give you a 50-50
It's
on
50-50. So we got 2 50-50s and 3 guaranteed wins.
that. Alabama's okay, all right, sure. Compromising on that.
Okay, Pitt.
You'll beat Pitt.
How are they looking this year? Because you're thinking you're losing for juju reasons.
I don't know. We don't look at Winsipedia, Syracuse versus Pittsburgh. We don't beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So
in my lifetime, ever since 2001, we don't beat Pittsburgh. We beat them, I think, 2 times since 2001.
Yeah.
And we play them every single year. So we just don't beat them.
They're so bad some years, so it's hard.
Yeah, but even those years, we don't beat them. They beat us.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We just cannot beat Pittsburgh.
Well, it's a likely win.
That was the game Kyle McCord threw 4 pick sixes. 4 of them. 4 touchdowns for the other team.
Oh, how do you do that?
I've never seen anything like it. They were all contested too. They were all either off of one of our receivers' hands into their team, or it was the pass got tipped.
That's so cursed. That's absolutely.
I know.
You're not beating Pitt, dude.
The game was over. They all happened in the first quarter. There was 3 of them happened in the first quarter, and then another one happened in the second quarter.
Oh man, that's so cursed.
It was the game was just over, just instantly.
Ouch. Well, you hate to see 4 pick sixes.
It was the most. I've never seen anything like it. It was
From
the most
the best
ridiculous
player
thing
on
I've
your
ever
team,
seen.
too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is none of them were his fault because they were all
okay.
they were all fucking contested,
Just really good
Syracuse
coverage.
Guy. Yeah, just really tight coverage, and it's it bounces off our guy. One of them, the guy literally caught it when he was laying on the ground. It just landed on top of him. Well, that wasn't a pick six. That was just a regular pick. But yeah.
All right. Well, these next 3 are likely wins, though. That's the thing. So, we got Alabama, Miami. Those are hard. But then Pitt, Stanford, Wake Forest, probably wins.
Yeah, you'll probably win those. Your schedule's good. I wish
Clemson,
we could trade.
We lose.
Probably a loss.
I think
probably
Clemson's
a loss, but you have a chance. You have a better chance than Alabama.
I disagree.
I'd give you 30% against Clemson. Is it home or away?
It's at Clemson.
30, yeah, 30, 20% chance, something like that.
It's not unwinnable. The reason I'm much more bullish on Alabama is because it happens early in the season. Everyone's healthy. We usually have pretty bad injury luck. I think that we're gonna here's the thing: Castellanos gets injured, we're fucked, right?
I feel like he's not that good, so it wouldn't be a big step down to the next guy.
Dude. He shredded us 2 years in a row. I get that Syracuse, you guys could somehow handle him, but. Well, the second thing is he wasn't really built for their new coach's system at all.
I don't know.
And they got a new coach when their old coach left Boston College anyway.
Was that the Dazzler, or am I missing a coach in between there?
A former NFL guy is now the coach at Boston College.
I mean their old one.
Oh, I don't remember him.
Adazio? Or
yes,
did they have
that's
a guy
it, that's
between?
It. I think it was him.
They had Adazio for a long time, but I don't remember if they had a guy for 2 years and they already fired him.
I think it was Adazio.
Okay.
But yeah, Virginia Tech, probably a win. North Carolina State, that's the
tough
team.
game.
That's the team we always lose to.
Is that home or away?
It's in Raleigh. I think we probably lose that game.
I'd go 60-40. You got 40%.
And then Florida is a toss-up always.
Oh, yeah, that's 50-50 every time,
But it's
I'd
in
imagine.
Gainesville. So that's kind of tough. NC
That's 50-50.
State in North Carolina.
But if you have good momentum, if you're 7-2 going into that, then that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's
I
not
feel
the
like
worst schedule.
you could split
It really
them.
isn't.
Yeah.
And I like that after Alabama, East,
You
Texas,
get a rest.
Kent State, and
Yeah,
Virginia.
you get some cream puffs.
Yeah, before Miami, that's great. I like
And
that.
even after Miami, it's you get the 2 weakest ACC teams. You get Stanford, Wake Forest, one after another.
The thing that sucks is when we played Alabama in the opener in 2016, that's kind of the thing that ruined Jimbo a little bit because the divorce ruined him beforehand, first of all. But
I think I've heard about that, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to get into it right after I say this. I'll finish this thought. DeAndre Francois got injured. He played really well too. We were actually winning the game, and then
That
after
sucks.
he got injured, at halftime is over, and we lost.
I hate to see that.
And he couldn't play the rest of the season.
That's what ended Dino's career too.
Oh yeah,
We were up 24-0 on Clemson, and then our quarterback got hurt, and that was it.
I hate that.
Then we
so
lost
much,
we lost the next 5 games in a row.
Imagine your quarterback gets hurt, and then you win out, and you're
Yeah.
undefeated.
Ooh, that'd be spicy. That never happens though.
And then you don't get to go to the playoff anyway.
Oh, because of that, yeah. That sucks. You guys got robbed.
So ridiculous.
Because of Alabama. It's fucking stupid. They just have to include Alabama. If they're anywhere around the conversation, they have to put them in.
It was Saban's last year. I think if it wasn't Saban's last year, they wouldn't have gotten in, but they literally move heaven and earth to make it make sense for Alabama to be there. I hate it.
That's the fucking... Didn't that happen in Nebraska, like in the 90s? It was like
Yeah.
their coaches last year, and they fucking just like shoehorned them
Yep.
in some shit. Yeah.
It certainly did.
Why, was Florida State the
I
team
feel-
that got snubbed then?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was probably the year we beat them, actually. So thank you.
Oh.
But, dude, the 90s, that was a time. Anyway, Jimbo.
Yeah.
Coming off the heels of a national championship with Jameis Winston in 2013 into 2014, things were looking really, really good. And,
Didn't you guys get killed by like Oregon or something that year?
at the end, yeah.
Yeah, the last
In
game
the
like, it was
playoff. We
embarrassing.
made it to
Yeah.
the playoff, but that was
Yeah.
the most chaotic year of any like football team ever. We literally would get down by like 3 or 3.5 touchdowns and somehow come back and win it every time.
Nice.
And Oregon, it was just too far of a gap, and Jameis had 3 turnovers, and it was like, damn, all right.
yeah.
But
Darn.
Oregon did not win. It seems like they can't win a natty for whatever reason. Even though
Yeah,
they're
they never
always
have.
good. Yeah.
Never have. They never will.
You think never will? That would be
Not
awesome.
with the new playoff format. They can't.
Yeah, that's true. It's tough.
You run into too many sharks now. You can't have Cinderellas win. So
Yeah. Well, anyway, his wife cheated on him, and it kind of broke him. Understandably, that's an
Sure.
understandable. My life is ruined kind of moment. The thing is, like, he just kind of hung around and just got worse
that
every
sucks.
year.
Yeah.
And he never really got his mojo back. And then A&M, for whatever reason, pays him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they paid him a buttload of money and he sucked there.
You know about the Christmas tree?
No, I don't.
Okay.
What?
Well, this is a big meme in like Tallahassee culture. So when Jimbo was like, it was rumored he was going or he wasn't or he was staying.
Okay.
It was like before Christmas, and there was a Christmas tree in his front lawn to like go out to the trash, like he was leaving.
And that's how everybody knew?
Everyone knew. Yeah, because
Oh
of the
my
Christmas
God.
tree. Because like you
That's
don't just
ridiculous.
take your Christmas tree down before Christmas and throw it away to for the trash people to pick it up. And it was just like, oh shit, there's a Christmas tree, and then
and it was actually true.
yeah, it was actually
wow.
true. So that was funny. I was ready for him to go at that point, though. Most people were not. I was ready for it.
You're quick on that because the whole last season you're like, we gotta fire the coach. We gotta fire the coach. Just the whole last season you were talking about that. Whoever your coach is now.
Norvell. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Norvell. Yeah, you just
We
want him
can't.
gone the whole time.
We can't get rid of him. It's too expensive. The thing is, we have.
Apparently, we paid Dino like $10 million or something.
Yeah.
To like fire him, which is weird to me.
It's amazing how well being bad at your job pays if you're a college football head coach.
Like what the hell?
Yeah. Who was Tennessee's old guy? Butch something or
Oh yeah,
Butch
yeah. I
Jones?
remember
Was that his name?
something like that? That
That guy
sounds
was
familiar.
hilarious, dude. He was just an endless like sea of coach speak and just like the most ridiculous. We're winners at life, like that kind of shit. Like I miss that man. But yeah, basically, divorce broke him.
Dang.
And like he was absolutely carried by like some of the best players that have ever been here. Like Dalvin Cook carried him for like 4 years. And then he had a losing season, and it was a bad losing season. We got beat by Boston College 35-3.
Nice.
Like they just gave up. You know what I mean? Like in
what year was this? 2018?
2017. That was
you still beat us that year. You still beat Cuse that year. It was a close game, but you did.
Thanks. You gave us one of our only wins.
We missed a field goal to win at the end, and that's how we lost. Yeah.
And what's sad, I was extremely excited about Taggart. I thought that was the perfect pick, and
Then that was 2018. That was when you went to Syracuse and lost to Tommy DeVito. Yeah.
Really badly too.
Yeah, it was like 30-3.
It was awful. That was the worst season I've ever endured, even worse than the last one.
No, that was the best season of my life. That's because we had 10 wins.
Yeah, that was a great year for you guys.
I grew up, like, the teams, like, in my formative years were lucky to get 4 wins, so it was like... Because we weren't ranked from 2001, like, the final poll from 2001 all the way until 2018, we were never ranked once. So it was exciting to finally get 10 wins.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because I felt like, because it was Dino's third year, I felt like Dino's first 2 years, we were good. Like, we were competitive in games. We just weren't, like, winning them. And then, because our quarterback got hurt both those years. We had the same quarterback for 4 years. He was like a poor man Tim Tebow. It was like the same play style. He couldn't throw that well, but he was a sort of like a power runner and like really emotional and fiery guy.
I hate Tim Tebow.
But he got hurt in every single season. Like his first 3 seasons, he got hurt after like halfway through the year. And then we didn't win a single game without him. We had a winning record with him, but we lost every single game he didn't start.
Man.
We were 0-20 or some shit. But he stayed healthy for most of 2018 and we won 10 games. So the only game he missed was Florida State, I think. And we still won that game. So, yeah.
It was bad. Things have been honestly extremely bad since Jimbo left. Even the good seasons were marred by like the biggest fucking heartbreak ever.
Not getting to go to the playoffs. I mean, just the fact that everybody quit and then you get stomped by Georgia, that sucks too.
It's the worst ending to the season possible. Because literally,
exactly.
That's the thing. You lose all but like 2 starters. So like you're down 20 players. And then Georgia keeps all of them because they're Georgia
kids. They really fucked you. How could they all leave? That sucks.
The worst part, it wasn't even losing to Georgia. It was everyone being like, "See, they shouldn't have been in." It's like our whole fucking team didn't play.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wasn't fair. It wasn't a fair game.
Like I would have loved. I remember we were saying, "Guys, can you just do it for just a half? Can we just get one half? Like just so we could
Cam
see.
Ward it, please, Cam Ward this." I can't believe he quit at halftime. That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Wasn't Miami up like 42-14 at halftime or some shit, and then he quit, and they didn't score again and lost?
Yeah, that's the most insane. Miami thing ever.
That's fucking Miami. Stupid.
Yeah, dude.
I can't believe you could... If you're either play or don't stop playing at halftime and then watch your team get come back on by 30
ridiculous.
Points.
Do you remember when Miami lost because they didn't take a knee last year?
Oh yeah, well that was a few years ago.
Well, yeah, I guess like I'm still thinking of it as in like this season is what happened last year, but like the year before that was
it was like 2 ago.
The funniest
That's
heartbreak
awesome.
at Hard Rock.
That rules. Yeah, it's very funny.
I watched that live. It was so funny. I was visiting my parents' house that day because a lot of times my dad and I will watch football. Sometimes, you know.
Nice.
But
Hell
like, or no. I got that wrong. That wasn't that week. I called him. That's what happened.
Oh, nice.
He had stopped watching because the game was over.
Yeah,
and
I would
kept
turn it
watching. And Sakina asked me, you know, like kind of like, why are you still watching me? Like she was just kind of inquiring about the game. I was like, they can't win. It's impossible. Because I've been hate watching for a while.
Well, it is impossible. Like when you get to a knee situation, it's supposed to be impossible.
It's impossible. And I remember I was like, hold up. They're running it. So and I was like, but they're not going to get it.
In the new college football game, they added a feature where when you get to a situation where you just have to kneel, you could just end the game.
Oh, really?
You can just be like, all right, game's over.
There you go.
You don't even have to actually do it. So it's they were in that situation where they could hit the end game button in the new college football game, and they didn't do it.
The thing was, though, like they still had to make plays to win, and they did. And it was like 2 long passes, and there was no time, and they lost. And it was just like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Like,
hell yeah.
It's like, and it's almost better than your team winning. It's like it's
watching Miami just lose the craziest thing ever.
Just the worst thing that could ever happen. The dumbfounded looks on the fans' faces. They're throwing trash at the coaches. It's just like, it's
awesome.
But then last season happened for us, and I can't say
you guys,
it was the worst.
You guys
season
were awful.
Ever.
Yeah. Would you win 1 or 2 games? You won 2 games.
1.
No, because you beat some fucking you beat some bullshit like
Cal
FCS
beat
team.
themselves. Cal beat themselves.
Sure,
that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, technically we had 2. It was the worst season since before Bobby Bowden got here in the 70s. It's 50 years since we had a season that bad, and we were a preseason top 10.
Top 10? It wasn't even like top 25 or top 10.
Preseason.
Oh my god.
Top
10. Dude, the DJU hype was real. And they were like, yeah, dude, this guy rules.
3. Well, he did. Yeah. Somehow he did well at Oregon State.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he sucked it. He actually got benched against Syracuse. He threw like 4 interceptions in the first half, and then they put in Klubnik, and we lost.
You know what? Maybe he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He just can't beat any team from the ACC.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to be in a different conference.
Yeah, that would have fixed everything. Yeah. We should end this segment.
Yeah, we need to get to some real segments.
Yeah, it's like what is this, an hour and 20 minutes of
exactly.
All right, well, Shalom Pedantic, like and subscribe.
Yeah, okay.